skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.
Trapping out the bando. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey.
Scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.
Get spooked.
Scary skeletons and shivers down your spine.
All right, so welcome everyone. Like I promised, here I am with the winner of the costume contest, Tomshas. Am I saying your name correctly? Is it Tomshas?
It's more like Tom Shuss, more like that.
Tomshas? That okay. All right, perfect. All right, don't want to say the name wrong. All right, perfect. So, anyways, like I said, we're here with the winner of the costume contest for a brief interview. We're gonna be asking a few questions about why he chose the costume and some other questions about Plants vs Zombies in general. So, first thing I'd just like to say is thank you so much for joining me and congratulations on winning the costume contest. How does it feel to be a winner?
Well, honestly, I don't think it feels too right. On the poll, it was like 60% or something.
Yeah.
It feels weird, but thank you, and thank you for having me here.
And thank you so much for entering. I mean, you really ended up blowing the competition away. I think that from our round two, you took over 20 individual votes, which got you into that final round, and then over 60% of that final round votes went to your foot soldier, which is pretty incredible. So you should feel really good about that.
Yeah, I really didn't expect it would go like this.
Let's move on and talk a little bit about your costume in general here. So, could you tell me, out of all of the possible characters in the game, why did you choose Foot Soldier to do your costume on?
Honestly, I had a lot of costumes that I used, but this one, not only because it was last minute, I was like, oh no, I forgot to submit it. Quick, foot soldier, good. But also, he was my main loadout. That specific one, I used ever since December. Once I got the hat, I
Oh,
never
sure.
switched. It was just my main forever and ever.
Wow. So is Foot Soldier is the character in general your main zombie in in Battle for Neighborville, or no?
Honestly, my main zombie would be All Star.
Okay,
Yeah, Foot Soldier is a close third. Second would be Electric Slide.
gotcha. Cool. All right. So, kind of continuing on the costume, you mentioned that you had that equipped ever since you got the hat. Could you tell me a bit about why you chose the pieces for that costume? I know you've got the flannel and the Christmas hat and the boots, and I'm getting a very winter kind of vibe from this costume. Is that kind of what you were going with?
Yeah, basically, I had a thing with Nutcrackers. I don't know why last year.
Okay.
Like, oh look, a Nutcracker hat in Rux. I gotta get it, and I got it, and here we go. I don't know what I did with the mustache, but I guess I didn't have a face piece, so I just used that. The shoe, however, wasn't there before. I got it from that one uh, super rare skin that now costs coins. I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
sure, I'm gonna put it over there, suppose. And yeah, that's how I thought of it. Just something with nutcrackers back then.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely got that feeling. I think I would say that a lot of the people who voted for your costume definitely liked the theme. Overall, I'd say when I judged the costumes and kind of picked which ones got into the top 10 to begin with, I think theme was definitely one of the things I looked for, and also variety in the selection, the different items. So I appreciate that kind of the different items came from different sets. I think that's what made it really unique. And yeah, overall, I mean, why it led to it being selected as the number one costume. All right. So let's see what else I got here. So I think, I guess, is there anything else you'd like to talk about your costume? Otherwise, we'll kind of transition into some general Battle for Neighborville questions.
I guess just nothing much. That's it.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so yeah, let's transition over to just some quick questions I have for you about Battle for Neighborville and Plants vs. Zombies in general. Can be kind of fun questions to answer here. So, first of all, obviously, I know you played Battle for Neighborville, but what would be your favorite Plants vs. Zombies game in general and why?
Honestly, that's a hard one. Overall, I would say PVZ one just because I've played it ever since, and it just got me. It just it stuck with me a lot. And
Yeah,
I loved it. And I guess yeah, that would be my favorite. I guess for the shooters, it would be Garden Warfare 2 because it's got enough content to keep me
yeah,
invested. Um, yeah, so it would be just PVZ original one and Garden Warfare 2.
yeah, yeah. I definitely agree. I think that Plants vs. Zombies 1 is surprisingly one of those games that I've played through over and over and over again. Even though it definitely, I mean, lacks some sort of replayability, but it's so classic at this point that it's pretty much holds a special place in the hearts for many of the veteran PvZ players here. All right. So, my next question is obviously, we're talking about Battle for Neighborville here. What do you think about Battle for Neighborville's development being dropped and essentially quote unquote canceled?
I was really upset like a lot because I knew a lot of stuff what Yo's next stuff should have been. There should have been 9 new characters because on every side there's five on the plants, five on the zombies, and one of them was open, the
Yep.
wizard. And there was also two blocked off rooms on each side. One was on the plants, which was blocked off by a tree. You could see a room behind it next to Rux. And at the zombies, there was a a entryway blocked off by cones, which I would have suggested it could have been more content or something like Infinity Time. Um, Especially on
Yep.
Space Free, I was really looking for towards it because of things that they confirmed and never released. So that's one of the things that really
Yeah.
really made me upset.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I haven't heard too much about those blacked off rooms, but I know exactly what you're talking about. And it definitely seems in general with Battle for Neighborville that they did have quite a bit of content planned for post launch, and they just didn't get around to a lot of it because obviously there's really no reason that they should have released only Wizard and then nothing else to combat it. I mean, all of the leaks with the iceberg lettuce and things like that, you would really expect at least one plant character to be in the game, but I mean, it would seem as if EA just cut their losses, gave up essentially. All right. Okay, so we know what your favorite zombie characters are. What's your favorite plant character in Battle for Neighborville?
It could. I'm not actually sure about this. I think it would be Nightcap or Snapdragon. One of those two, I think.
Okay.
What else? No, I think it would be Snapdragon.
Snapdragon? Snapdragon, I have to say, has got to be one of the most powerful characters in that game. Definitely. I mean, both of those characters are brand new additions to Battle for Neighborville, which is kind of cool. I think that they did a pretty good job of all the new characters introduced into the game. They made them very interesting and unique, and that's why a lot of people are out there maining um, Nightcaps and Snapdragons, and I personally like Oak and Acorn as well. And I just think there's a lot of good characters. So, all right. And I guess so. My final question is actually a little bit more kind of about my channel and YouTube in general. So, I guess my question to you is what type of YouTube content do you like to watch? And what would you like to see more of on my channel?
Well, I like watching just kind of really entertaining, let's say, let's plays.
Okay.
And I suppose I was looking forward to some more BFN content, but considering that game was dropped, I don't know how much you'll stick with it.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what else you could do. Much. You could move to like Garden Warfare 2, play it a bit,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, those are definitely thoughts. So originally, I will have to look into Garden Warfare 2 again because right now, so I think my plan, and this is kind of a question that people have been having, just kind of interesting to address now, is that so Garden Warfare 2 is very, it's pretty dead on the PC to be honest. You can only get into a couple of lobbies, or at least with good connection in the U.S. So it's very much alive on the Xbox though. So I do have both, but I don't have a capture card. So once I got a capture card to be able to record the gameplay on the Xbox, then there's a good chance that I kind of branch over and do some work there because I have played quite a bit of Garden Warfare 2 on the Xbox, so I have a decently leveled account there. But I think that's one of the plans. Otherwise, right now, actually, so as far as the Battle for Neighborville content goes, obviously things like farming guides and stuff like that are not super viable anymore. And as the player base shrinks, Let's Plays will kind of start to wither away because you can't play against nobody. But one thing that, as I approach 5,000 subscribers here, is I will be releasing a series of kind of ranking videos, which is something I've never done. So we'll be doing kind of the tier lists of plants and zombies. We'll be doing boss rankings and some kind of other stuff like that to kind of, I would say, wrap the game up a bit. So that's a bit to you and to the viewers watching this video right now of the plans for the future as far as the channel goes. I also may branch out and just do a couple fun stuff. I know I do Fall Guys Fridays right now, which has been a blast. Not sure how long I'll keep doing Fall Guys, but there are other games that could make appearances. Although it's obviously quite apparent that not a whole lot of people enjoy watching things other Plants vs Zombies. We'll do our best, and I'm definitely holding out for whatever the next Plants vs Zombies game is. I really can't wait. Even I know people have been giving PvZ3 some hate, but I never got a chance to try it, and I can't wait for that to come out in full. What are your thoughts on Plants vs Zombies 3?
Well, it was weird at the beginning, I would say. the art style and the mechanics weren't really PvZ. I would say if it would have been a spin-off like PvZ Clash or PvZ something like that, not PvZ free, it could have worked.
Okay.
But yeah, mechanics, there were no lawnmowers. Sun was automatically made like in a game like Clash Royale.
Oh, sure.
So I think they could have made like PvZ Clash, and they've concentrated a lot on versus multiplayer.
Okay.
They could have made like live battles. Let's say, the first one to I don't know, kind of like the versus mode in PvZ one on Xbox, but live, and one has zombies, one has plants. It was
Yeah.
right something.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
But I don't think they're gonna do that. And they said they're gonna rework the game and they're gonna remove it from the App Store. So I think they could get back on the original format and maybe change the art style, but I doubt it. I just hope the mechanics are gonna be better because
Yeah.
it was really it got really stale really fast. I'd say.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see when that game actually fully releases. Because I know not a whole lot of people had the opportunity to even try the alpha in their country. So hopefully we'll see that too. I know there were some leaks about a Plants vs Zombies like RPG type of game too. That one actually didn't look too bad. Did you see anything on that one?
Yeah, that one I'm actually really looking forward to. I think it could be like a dungeon crawler type game.
Yeah.
They, they could do so much with this kind of idea.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that, and that's something I talked about in my last Battle for Neighborville discussion video was just the fact that it seems like when you're creating new games, you need to go in one of two ways. You either need to stay true and make it a true sequel and just kind of expand upon those past games like PvZ 2 did to PvZ 1. Or you need to make it completely new, like they did with Plants vs. Zombies Heroes, which was quite a bit of a success. And I did play that for a little while in its initial launch, which is why I think something like a Plants vs Zombies dungeon crawler would be a huge success. But where Plants vs Zombies 3 is starting to seem kind of weird because people don't know whether to handle it as a true sequel or whether to handle it as an entirely different game in itself. It kind of blends the area between, and I think that kind of overall leads to some negative reviews. All right. So I think that's pretty much wraps up all my questions that I have for you. But before we finish, do you have any questions for me? Now, I can't guarantee I'll be able to answer all of them, but I'll give you the opportunity to ask anything you want here.
Um, I don't know. I guess I'd ask you what what would you think the future of BFN could have been if it wasn't canceled?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Um, I think as far as well, I mean, from the leaks, obviously, I'd like to think that they'd be adding in more characters, and also give the opportunity to put a legendary upgrade on every class. But I'd say even more so, I would really enjoy some extra content for the solo areas. I think that the kind of those solo PvE environments were some of the best things about Battle for Neighborville. I've really enjoyed doing the quests. I've done a few speed runs on the quests. It's a good time, and they really did an excellent job with those areas. I just wish that, I mean, once you complete all the areas, get them 100%, there's really nothing left. And I definitely think, or at least expected them to maybe add one new area, and maybe kind of like Town Center, where you could have the plants do one quest line and the zombies do one quest line, but it's still technically the same spot. I think it would have been really cool to see that and kind of expand on the story a little bit. Maybe get Crazy Dave or Zomboss involved a little more, because obviously we didn't get a fight with Zomboss, which is kind of unfortunate. I mean, the gnome fights and stuff were pretty good too, but I would have expected maybe some more hefty DLC content.
Yeah, honestly, speaking of that Zombot battle, I suppose there could have been the plans for one because, if you look in the menu for the teleporter, there is a Zombot right there. So I guess they could have done like a boss hunt type limited mode where you could kill Zombots or something.
Oh
They could have
yeah.
done something with Dave as well, where you could have like had the trash the trash dinosaur, but not the one from Infinity Time, the T Rex from um Seeds of Time, the map from Garden Warfare 2, where there
Okay.
was like those panels where there was like, oh, this big fight between the trash T Rex and Zombot 9000 something, I think. Yeah, they could have done something like that, but the game got cut short and nothing came out of that. So, we can just imagine what could have been.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose, which is too bad, but we can only hope that whatever games they release in the future kind of I guess put more dedication into. All right. Well, do you have any other questions for me?
Nah, not really. I think I've got everything. I don't know what else to ask him, really.
Yeah, well, if you ever do think of anything, feel free to drop a question or something in the Discord. I'm always open to answering things like that. And also for our big 5,000 subscriber special, which we're coming up pretty close on. That should be within the next week, hopefully. I'll probably be doing a question and answer session, so anything about the channel in general or my views on Plants vs Zombies or my views on anything really, we'll probably have subscribers reach out with questions for that. So otherwise, I think we're about to hit 20 minutes here, which is kind of crazy, but thank you so much for not only participating in the contest and winning the contest, but also taking the time out of your day to speak with me.
Yeah, no problem. And I really hope your channel grows. You're gonna have a lot of success. Yeah, you're a pretty entertaining lad, I'll be honest.
Thank you. That means a lot. All right. All right, sounds good. Well, I think this is going to wrap the conversation up. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
To you as well, mate. See you later.
All right, bye.